This episode is all about how your encouraging words not only make someone else's day, but how it fuels back to you and improves your performance quality. Hello, my beautiful, gorgeous dance baby, and welcome to another episode of More Than Dance. Today, we are talking about the power of making someone smile and what goes on behind the scenes and how that can actually help you with your dance journey. So we have this thing at the studio called Circle Time. I'm sure you've heard me talk about it before, and it's where we share a highlight and a success at the end of class. And I've gotten into the habit of doing this with my students because I know that it helps them to reflect upon the class and know that there's so much more than the showcase, which is when we film our class, and that there's so much more than having so much frustration in a dance routine because there's always some win they might be overlooking. And what happens with that is they're sharing their success, which is awesome. And when they share their highlight, it's such a cool thing to watch as the studio owner and instructor because I'm watching them congratulate everyone in the room that's with them. And a lot of the times they're saying things that are the highlight for everyone. So, for example, if it's someone's birthday and we're celebrating them, they will take a minute from their share to talk about whoever we are celebrating that day. And it's really sweet because that person, not only are they being honored in that moment because we're celebrating their birthday or we're celebrating their strutversary, which is their anniversary of dancing, they're getting another highlighted moment, which I guess if you're a introvert, like that could be like a lot. And it also has a lot of benefits to be able to receive such recognition. And we'll get to that in more depth in a second. So they're sharing their highlight, their success, they're honoring the people in the room. People are getting a chance to relive the moment, laugh about whatever was happening, maybe recognize something in a different light. So if someone's pointing something out, the other person might be like, oh my gosh, that's right, I forgot about that. Or they might be like, oh, that's right, that was so unique and so cool. And it really allows us to bond as a dance community. And it allows us also to think a little bit deeper past the dance steps that we know it's so much more than dance because it's the camaraderie, it's the energy, it's the performance quality. It is the in-between laughter in between classes. There's some nights where we're just laughing in between each section. There's some nights where I'm like Sergeant Chrissy and it's like, go, 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 drill, drill, drill. There's always a huge variety. And the reason why I'm bringing this up today is because we've had a few episodes in the past about the ripple effect, how doing something like that is so helpful. I know I shared with you how Josh and I helped this woman with her tent at the beach. It was such a cute moment and a cute story, and it came full circle, obviously, because that's life, and how touching that could be. And then I know I shared with you when we were in Martha's Vineyard and these teenage boys ended up playing our song on the Draws Bridge and made my whole entire birthday a lit party in the middle of the day for no reason. And it was just really special and really awesome and also very memorable. And you can be that person that makes something so memorable. It's always going to come back to you. I'm thinking about some students that we've had that have recently signed up. They're in the dance space now and they're getting their groove. Literally, because at my studio, I'm very big on welcoming energy. So I do encourage my students to say hey, my name is blank. I've been going for this long, just to break the ice and help understand hey, you can talk here. It's not one of those studios where we just all face the mirror and don't look at each other and really want to talk to each other and really want to bond. And these are some things that I've found in the past 15 years of owning a studio that have helped build the community in our space. And I had one of my newbies come to me and she was like, oh my God, someone just came in and they just told me their name. I was like, yeah. And I was like, and pretty soon you're going to be doing that to some newbie as well. And they're going to be saying the same thing to me. And it's going to be just such a cool full circle moment for you because where you are now as a beginner, in a couple of months, you're going to be more of a veteran. And you're going to kind of know the drill and you're going to be showing someone the way. And we all get an opportunity to do that no matter where you are in life, no matter what skill or hobby that you're taking up, where you kind of get to show someone the way. How it comes back to you is, one, you're bringing in a sense of confidence when you do that. And it's kind of hey, I'm so-and-so. I've been coming here for this long. This is what I know, and I'm ready to share it with you. And when you're able to sit there and say stuff proudly like that, confidently like that, that fuels right back into your dancing because you're going to remember, wow, like go me. Like I really helped this person get acclimated. What's so cute is also it comes right back in the circle. So that newbie had that moment. She shared that with me. But then in the circle time later on, she went back and she said something like, oh, and so was so helpful to me when I first started. And now that person's listening to it be like, oh, I'm so glad that was helpful for you. I mean, isn't that amazing? Like just saying hello and just saying hi and just doing something so little can be so impactful. And that's the whole thing with the ripple effect, is that it doesn't have to be gigantic for it to make lasting impact. And so when you take those thoughts and you're kind of fueled and like jazzed up by it, pun intended, your dancing is electrified. And you're on the dance floor and you're like, wow, not only do I know that I belong here, that I've made myself a home here, I'm able to welcome people and make them feel comfortable and help them to find their home here. And it's kind of like giving the gift of dance, which I talked about as well around Christmas time this year, because getting and giving the gift of dance is something that is so special. I know that there's people that come to my studio currently, they wouldn't be here right now if it wasn't for that friend that was like, come to dance with me, you're coming, and they kind of show that friend like, I'm gonna go, I want you to go with me, let's be accountable and let's be accountable together so that we can do something that we know deep down is going to not only enrich our lives dance-wise, but also the full gamut of positives that dance brings. So when you're able to light yourself up by lighting someone else up, you can imagine the energy is crazy and full and long lasting. And that's why whenever one of my classes is over, we're still there in circle time, just like loving and fueling off of the vibes. And those vibes, they can last till the next day, till the next week. I had a student last night who came and she was like, oh, I just needed this. Like this just filled my soul. And what a great reminder for me to continue to come and continue to make it part of my schedule. Those feelings, I mean, you can't buy them. Like literally, yeah, you can buy a dance class, but the way that you're able to allow yourself to feel in a dance class is a whole different compartment. And I like to say that our studio is ultra special because everyone knows that that's important. And I definitely have been to studios where that's not one of the pillars and it feels different. I leave different. So I know I'm a little biased here, but I can tell you that I have received so many messages, especially this week. And it's kind of like how I talk about divine timing. Divine timing is crazy. And once you start paying attention to it, you're like, whoa, it really is divine. I mean, we have a story for you that we're going to share eventually, but it's like the ultimate divine timing story. And I mean, I've been sitting with that this week and last week and just kind of like, whoa, that's crazy timing. Like, what? But this week in particular, I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was because of the weather, but I gotten so many sweet messages. And whenever I get a sweet message from one of my students, I call it a love note. I take a screenshot of it and I save it. And if I'm organized that day, I'll move them all into a folder. And it's a special folder. And I encourage you to do this too, because whenever you're down or whenever you are having a hard week, you can go to that folder and light yourself up. So I like to take these screenshots and put them into a little folder and read them. And yeah, if I am having a tough week, I'm like, okay, let me read these. Like, oh yeah, like I do matter. So if you're getting messages from friends or if you're getting messages from your fellow dance friends, what a great thing to screenshot, put them in their very own photo album within your phone. So whenever you feel like you need to just get that rev of energy, you can go and read them. So when I was receiving them this week, I thought, wow, this is such a great thing to talk about because each person that did reach out to me and say something so sweet, I don't know if they know. I know that they know that it meant something because I responded back and said, thank you so much for sharing. And the big picture is that it's more than a, oh, thank you for your message. Like, I'm glad. And then this is funny because it plays into like validation for me. And I know I have yet to film that podcast because I have a lot of ideas brewing inside my head at all times, as you know, and also with the topic of validation, because there's a huge part of me that believes that you can create your own self-validation. And then there's the other part of me, maybe the Leo side of me, that is like, no, external validation does feel really good and magical. And there's this theory that I have inside my head, and I don't know if it was like adopted from like books and things, but the idea is that you, in a way, wean off of external validation. You create your own self-validation. And no matter what happens, like you can self-validate. And it's almost like you don't need anything else. And then part of me is like, no, but like there is something special about that acknowledgement and that knowing and that feeling of being seen by someone else, which is also human nature. So I find it funny sometimes when I'm about to film a podcast, I'll think about these subjects and then the scholar in me is like very analytical. And we used to do Socratic seminars and we would just like debate like different things. It was really fun thinking in the other way. And so I can sit here and Socratic seminar with myself about validation, self-validation, external validation. And in conclusion, how most things are, everything is great with a little bit of this, a little bit of that. It's the Italian way. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. Everything's great. So when we're thinking about these little moments, these little love notes, these little exchanges within the studio, they're not all external validation. They are externally given, and then they can be externally received. And then it's almost like they get digested, and they're digested as self-validation, because what happens with that is you end up thinking about what it is that you had impact over. So for instance, the girl in the class who just started dance class, and there she is like making her way downtown, walking fast. She's making her way to each class, and she's making sure that she attends and stays consistent and thinks about the music and thinks about all these things that you think about during dance to get it right. And then she has someone during circle time say to her, "You are my highlight today." What? I'm going to cry just thinking of it. That is so amazing. I'm not being told I was a highlight, but it's almost as if I was, because I'm watching it happen right in front of me. I'm like watching people be nice, which is like amazing. We know that, but it's deeper than just being nice. It's like acknowledging someone who is new, saying that they were their highlight. Do you know that that person is going to not only like remember that moment, but they're going to say like, whoa, something's going to click, and they're going to say, wow, I matter. And they're going to say, I matter in this space, which is their brand new space, their brand new dance space that they've never really been in before. So it's like, okay, it's one thing to know that you matter, but it's another thing to know that you matter in a space that's brand new to you. And so when you say something like that, well, you were my highlight today. It's such a great practice to get into, because that is everlasting for that person. And now when they show up, and this is like that swallowing of like validation, external validation, self-validation, they're going to show up a little bit different the next time. They're going to say like, oh, hold on. So-and-so told me I was their highlight. Wait a minute. Let me sit with that and let me absorb that. And this is a perfect time for me to say, when someone does go out of their way to share with you something, like sit with that and reflect on that and know that like, that's not a phony moment. That's a very real moment that you get to sit with and say, wow, I matter. I mean something to this space. And so when they show up and they know that they matter, they're going to dance differently, because everything is tied, as we know. And the more things that we can fill our brain with that are amazing, the more it will remember the amazing things and then act in amazingness. So that person showing up, okay, wow, I was someone's highlight. That's amazing. I show up now to dance. I'm still nervous. I'm still scared. I'm still like not thinking I have it, but I was so-and-so's highlight. That's going to mean something, right? So now I'm going to dance like people are watching, right? I'm going to dance like, and maybe that's Leo speaking, but I'm going to dance like this space now deserves me to show up for it. It's like a little shift. It's like, oh, I was going to dance like for myself, but now I realize I'm a person at the dinner table here. Like this matters. And then, okay, because I told you I was going to go back to it. Introverts, I love introverts. I'm still understanding you. I get it a little bit, and I don't other times. I am an extrovert, and I am a homebody. And I think like my homebodiness makes me feel introverted sometimes, but I don't know that I can say that I'm introverted. But I do think I did the test recently, and I am more introverted than you would think, probably. So what I was going to say about that is introverts on the dance floor, what a unique oxymoron in a way. Because it's like, here we are, introverted, and then you're on stage. Stage, I mean, boop, stage, that word is just like, that's an extroverted word. Being on stage and being introverted, it's almost like, how does that even exist? And it does. There's so many dancers and actually models and people that I've met along the way that I mean, even like Beyonce, like I know some of you like have gone to her concerts and stuff and like seen her behind the scenes, and her energy is just very different. And that's why she creates this alter ego of Sasha Fierce. And actually, funnily enough, we have alter egos at the studio as well. And it's bringing out a different personality. We'll get to that another time. And in this case, for an introvert, it's like receiving compliments and receiving these messages, these love notes in front of other people. I mean, circle time is a communal moment. It's almost like getting you ready to receive applause and to be on stage and to know that you're giving and they're receiving and they're going to give it right back to you. And that's like the exchange of a dancer, performer, and audience member. We're giving them energy. The audience is like, woo, woo, loved it, giving us back energy. And we're like, whoa, they liked that. Let's like go higher in intensity, or let's like smile at that person who keeps on wooing us. And then they're like, oh my gosh, like, hi, like you've seen it. I mean, I think everyone has seen it, at least within a movie, or a concert. And when you experience it as a dancer, as a live musician or an artist, it's wicked cool. Amongst all the things that you're managing in your head on stage, it's a lot. And being able to sit there and receive someone's little love note is only adding to that, because it's getting you more acclimated with understanding that when you are on the stage, you're showing up for everyone that attended. You're showing up for everyone there, for them to say, wow, I love that. I love what they brought to the performance. I love that song. I love those costumes. What great facials. Performing is an art in itself, as we know, and getting practice with all of the ins and outs of a performance is something that you can do. You can drill, and you can also take life moments like this and apply it to your dance performance. So the next time when you're receiving exchanges from other people that say, hey, you matter, you can take that and fuel that into your performance. Show up as you know you deserve every bit of that compliment, every bit of that love note, and then some. And your energy is going to go from maybe a little bit shy backstage, a little nervous backstage, a little worried, a little this, a little that. And then you get on stage, and soon that will kind of disappear. I mean, not only because of like desensitizing. It's very rarely that I get nervous backstage these days. Like, I just don't. Like, it doesn't really happen. I get excited backstage. And at the same time, I know people do get nervous. I know some professionals very well that get still very nervous backstage. It's very common. I think when you get so adjusted to feeling like you the bomb, you get used to that feeling, and you get more in your readiness to shine. What I'd love for you to take home from this in a little recap is sending the message to the person is important. Do you ever have that moment where you're like, oh, like, this and this and this, like, I just love that. And then you're like, I'm going to write it. And then you just like, you kind of tell yourself not to. I had that moment today at the gym. I was like going to say something to someone, and then I was just like, I'm not. I do think sometimes people like ruin it for other people, because like sometimes people aren't ready to receive that. So they like kind of look at you and you're like, oh, like, sorry, I interrupted your day. Like, I get spoiled a little bit because when I'm in the four walls of the studio, like everything is different. So I can say, oh my God, I love that, da, 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 blah, 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 whatever I want to share. And that person's like, oh my God, thank you. It's because we're practiced in it. We understand it. So when you're taking that moment to write that message, do it. When you want to send someone something that, hey, they mattered to your journey, send it to them. And know that, yes, you're making their day, and also you're making your own. So I hope this was helpful. And if it was, it would absolutely mean the world to me if you've shared this with a friend, especially this one. Share this one with a friend, right? And just know that you are helping someone else on their dance journey. Thank you so much, and I'll see you on the dance floor.